1994, a packed Anfield Cop about to witness something truly magical. The Liverpool side was certainly fired up for the occasion. Julian Dix and John Barnes fit again, forming a partnership down the left-hand side. But it was Nigel Clough in midfield who was about to produce the form and sparkle that Graham Souness has been patiently waiting for. The champions Manchester United had injury problems. No Mark Hughes and no Lee Sharp. But this is a team that have put their stamp on the Premiership once again, and this is a team that produces goals from seemingly anywhere. The commentators on the big night were Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
The enthusiasm from the Kop, inconveniencing Peter Schmeichel, and Steve Bruce appeared to win the toss and asked United to defend the top end in the first half. Andy, a bit of a psychological twist there.
I think so, Mark. Most captains bringing his team into this sort of intense situation would turn Liverpool round and have them kicking into the Kop.
Cantona. Dix in quickly. A surprise selection. Barnes also. The two in tandem down the left-hand side straight away. Fowler going towards the near post. The block by Bruce, who picked up a facial injury against Leeds on Saturday. A couple of stitches and a lip wound. Rush knocking it down. Ince helping it out. Nigel Clough with the shot. And Fowler's in here! Oh, what a start that would have been.
Within a minute, a glorious opportunity for Robbie Fowler. It's a half-hit shot from Clough. Rushy flicks it on. And normally Robbie Fowler would tuck that away without even thinking. They're looking for offside, but it's not. You can see quite clearly. There's no way he's offside. And when you expect him to tuck it away in the corner, he puts it over the top.
He's facing Manchester United for the first time, and he could have scored in the first minute. Dennis Irwin, as you saw from the replay there, was keeping Fowler onside. Pallister, right. Here's Robbie Jones.
I just wonder in that game when sometimes chances are so rare and so important, will Robbie Fowler live to regret that? I hope not.
McManaman is offside this time.
Have a look again. You see there how close it is again. Fowler trying to get in behind Gary Pallister. And I tell you what, there wasn't a lot in it.
Pallister in his usual position alongside Bruce. Brian McClare on the left of midfield. Ryan Giggs through the centre.
He said it was an option he could go to, and he's gone to it right away.
Been a lot of talk in the papers up here about how well Rob Jones has done playing against Ryan Giggs in previous meetings between the two clubs. Well, they're not in direct confrontation in this game as yet. Here's Barnes. Dix. Now Ruddock. One or two characters in the Liverpool back line of questionable temperament, perhaps.
What do you mean, they're competitive?
Be interesting to see how they cope with the emotion that's all around Anfield tonight. Well, it was put through there by Clough. And Schmeichel had to scamper to be first to it. Kanchelskis. Ince. Keane pulling to the left. Ince looking for him, McManaman in the way, and then in that leggy way of his losing his balance. Here's Irwin. McClare looking for a link up with Giggs. Ince, who's been in the goals recently, trying the first time up. A little bit of tension in the work of Kanchelskis there. Understandable.
You know it's important when you're playing in an atmosphere like this. You desperately want a touch of the ball. That's the most important thing. Get a touch, pass it off to one of your own players, and somehow you can relax from then a little bit, if relax is a word.
That's a nice touch from Fowler for Barnes. Manchester United have found it more profitable playing away recently than at home, where they've made heavy weather of breaking down some mass defences at Old Trafford. Here's Jones. Schmeichel decides to go, and having made that decision, there was no holding back.
Good example from the goalkeeper. It was a difficult decision to make, but when you make it, you cannot pull back in any way. Any hesitation at all there, and Rob Jones was in. But he made sure he got something on the ball, the goalkeeper.
Corner to Liverpool. Taken by Redknapp. Here's Giggs, but the foot that made contact with the ball belonged to Nigel Clough. McClair, man of many parts for Manchester United, but in difficulties here. In the end, kept his nerve against McManaman.
But Steve McManaman let him out of jail free, going nowhere in the middle of his 18-yard box. McManaman had no need to give away a free kick there.
Manchester United, 9 away wins, 28 away points out of 33. They drew at Newcastle, they lost, remember, their only league defeat this season at Chelsea back in September. Bruce and Rush have been playing against each other for years since they were rivals at Gillingham and Chester. That's one for Jones to have to come in for. Robillard solved his problems with real panache. McManaman, who got the ball away, had a look at Roy Keane, who came in rather rashly. Clough, been a good start by Liverpool. Jones, Fowler to the right. Just in field of him was McManaman. Owen made sure there was no little layoff there from the 18-year-old. But the outcome, Philip Don, I'm sure, as an experienced referee, keeping a very close eye on the early tackling. And an offside here.
It's a classic Ian Rush run. Diagonal run to a straight pass. We've seen it so often through the years.
Well, there have been a few trials and tribulations for Ian Rush recently. He was left out at Sheffield Wednesday. He was taken off at Sheffield United. And Robbie Fowler has been scoring more regularly of the two. Redknapp. Here's McManaman. Wright got to the ball quickly, but only gave it to Irwin, who curls it to where he hopes Giggs will get there before Wright. It's a corner.
Well, it's got a piece to it already, this game, isn't it?
Giggs to take the corner. Palace there by the near post. Cantona waiting. Certainly went into Pallister's area, where Wright took charge at the cost of another corner. The eyes look a bit heavy. He hasn't had more than a couple of hours sleep because of his family problems at the moment. Trying to get his concentration right in the cauldron that is Anfield at the moment. And Wright gets there again. Redknapp who hoisted it. Bruce has the shot. Liverpool block. Cantona. Collected yet another valuable goal for Manchester United. Philip Don, the referee, is concerned about the excessive nature of the celebrations here. But really, you can understand the joy for Manchester United and Steve Bruce.
Well, how many times has Steve Bruce produced this type of header for Manchester United? The mark is not great. John Barnes gets caught under the ball there. And it's from, what, 6 yards? And Steve Bruce doesn't miss them often. What a start to the game we've got. Liverpool could be 1 up, and they find themselves within 8 minutes 1 down.
And that is their 50th goal in the Premiership, and it's come from the captain.
Fabulous ball in from Eric Cantona. We talk so much about the header that at times you forget the delivery and the importance of it, and that man that produced it again, quality was there for all to see.
Well, Cantona has only been on the losing side twice in his 49 previous appearances for Manchester United, and tried to round up the figures on a winning note again, and he's got Manchester United off to an exhilarating start after a rather tentative beginning in terms of the territory of the game. Well, I don't know, for all the betting men watching, who might have had a flutter on Steve Bruce. We understand he was 20 to 1. Well, on his record, those odds are pretty generous.
Very generous.
Was concerned that McManaman might get past him on the outside. The cross from Jones didn't get too far for Liverpool. Cantona. Kanchelskis holding his position on the right. Mark Wright couldn't intervene. Here's a rampaging Roy Keane. McClare. And back came Clough and they needed him, Liverpool. Well, the passion is tremendous, and at times the passing is as well, which is a great credit to the players. Rush got the run of the ball luckily against McClare, and Rush has got a couple to the left, one of whom is Redknapp. Barnes still holding on the far side. Dix. Barnes using Dix as a decoy, and Barnes, who we've all seen bend them in, even with his right foot coming in on that angle.
Well, he owed the opening to Julian Dix's unselfish run on the outside. It took Andrei Kanchelskis totally out of position. Gave Barnes an opportunity to try and bend one in the top corner. But it was that man's run that provided the opening. It looks like Liverpool have said that Jamie Redknapp's going to be the central midfield player to get forward and help Fowler and Rush at all times, and just leave Nigel Clough as the backup line. Hopefully he can get on the ball for them and get some passes around.
There was a good touch into the feet of Rush then from Clough. Rush again, served by Barnes that time. Jones. Liverpool using the full width of the pitch with McManaman. Deflecting off Irwin. McClare having to take a hand.
I wonder if Alec Ferguson felt that Ryan McClare's discipline could be relied upon more in this wide area where it might be needed to help Dennis Irwin and maybe Ryan Giggs, who are younger and maybe just playing off the cuff at times.
Clough. Well, Jones might have taken that on. I think he always had it in his mind to leave it, which is what he did in the end. The deep cross from McManaman, Fowler heading it back. Cantona. He's spread the play again, but not with his customary accuracy. He missed this match last season, and Manchester United won by 2-1. But of course he has played here before in the colours of Leeds United.
But already tonight he's dropped deep into 2 or 3 positions, and he's been able to pick up the ball, turn and spread the play.
Well, Dix has great attacking gifts from left back. That's a terrific tackle by Ince. Giggs on the run, McClare keeping pace with him. I don't know whether Giggs has seen him. In the end, there was Robbie Jones getting the better of Ryan Giggs.
An example of Paul Ince there, who, as soon as Nigel Clough picked up the ball and was given no time, he pounced on him immediately, won the ball, and Giggs was away.
It's brought another corner to Manchester United.
It was an inability to clear the last corner from this side when they lost the goal.
Bruce, who epitomises the bravery needed in these situations. Right, read it well for Liverpool. Giggs getting a better angle. Well, the sound was that it hit the post and Grobbelaar was just covering it and making sure he didn't get a touch.
Good goalkeeping, this, I tell you, because Bruce knew it was going to be close. And what he decides to do, I think you'll find he puts both arms almost parallel with the post to say, well, let's just see, I'll make sure. But it did look like it came off the arm, didn't it?
Have a bit of kidology, perhaps, in the end. And he's never been short of that.
It's fair to say it hit both arm and post.
Oh, there's a mistake by Parker. Now, where does John Barnes go from here? You can see Rush in the middle and Fowler trying to attack the cross as well, but it was really lofted straight into the arms of Schmeichel.
It's a training cross, Peter Schmeichel, that. You get the young kids to knock in 100 of those in a training session.
Barnes, who picked up a groin injury over the holiday period at a game against Tottenham. Ruddock. Manchester United just moved up at the right time and there was nowhere for Robbie Fowler to run without going offside.
They've almost gone 4-3-3 Manchester United early in the game, with Kanchelskis, Cantona and Giggs up front, and Keane, Ince and McClare there tucked in the left, and they're not spread across as a four as we'd normally expect from Manchester United.
Well, confusion between Pallister and Schmeichel, whether Pallister couldn't hear a call because of the bedlam here.
Difficult to hear anything.
Jones. In terms of scoring goals, Liverpool there's a mistake by Ince and Fowler. They might get one here, and Schmeichel stops Fowler from equalising.
Well, this is not an easy chance. It's an uncharacteristic mistake from Paul Ince. It's a horrible spinning ball you see there. It's just about to land in front of Paul Ince. And that's what made it difficult, but Fowler pounced on it. Took his time, sized up the situation, but could only drive it straight at Peter Schmeichel.
Well, Fowler getting the opportunity with another example of the tension surrounding the match when Ince can move in an unconvincing way towards the ball as he did then. You have to feel that the atmosphere was getting to him. Goes back to Grobbelaar. They've come up with 12 different scorers in league games, Liverpool, this season, which matches Manchester United. But now, having conceded a goal here, they've just had one clean sheet in 12 games. And there's uncertainty between Ruddock and Wright, and Giggs didn't hit it cleanly.
I can't believe that, Martin. I cannot believe that defending. You wouldn't expect it. Well, you would expect to see it with schoolboys, really, on a pitch on a Saturday, but not from two experienced centre-backs like Neil Ruddock and Mark Wright. It's a little bit of after you. If you don't want it, well, neither do I. And none of them go to meet the ball. Allow it to bounce behind them. And really, Ryan Giggs will be disappointed he hasn't punished them more severely.
Cantona, that's brilliant. Giggs, and just a glance from Julian Dix to take the ball away from Kanchelskis.
But skill again to admire from Eric Cantona. In all this tension, he's still producing flicks here, back heels there. Super back heel to release Ryan Giggs.
But that earlier error between Ruddock and Wright has been rather typical of Liverpool in recent weeks. Cantona testing their defences again. Well, Manchester United have had some excellent results at Anfield in recent times. Ron Atkinson never lost a league game here when he was manager. Alex Ferguson won the first time he brought Manchester United here back in 1986. And of course, he won the last time he brought them here last March. The side are winning again. And they're winning by 2-0. A glorious goal from Ryan Giggs. And Jamie Redknapp is punished, and Liverpool, well, have they lost out with just 20 minutes gone against Manchester United and their capabilities? You feel that is possibly the way it's going to fall for Graham Souness's side here.
Yes, I think you're right. That is self-inflicted. The pass from Jamie Redknapp wasn't great. But if you're going to be really harsh about it, I wouldn't expect a centre-half to lose out in a tackle like that. I really wouldn't. But Ryan Giggs didn't have to do an awful lot. But from then on he did. He's got a decision to make. He knows Grobler's come out to narrow the angle. He knows he's got to be accurate. He knows the precision needs to be there. And it was. It was a wonderful finish from Giggs.
Here's Ruddock. Barnes for Rush. Liverpool needs something, and soon. Kanchelskis caught by Clough. And it's a tough lesson for Robbie Fowler, who's had a couple of chances here. Liverpool haven't scored. Manchester United have taken their opportunities. And when you talk about a side that's so hard to beat as United, where can Liverpool recover?
It's so typical. We saw Andy Cole produce a similar piece of skill against Oldham earlier in the season. And Ryan Giggs was, well, it was one equally to admire. What a test this is now for Liverpool. In their own backyard, 2-0 down after 20 minutes against, you're right, the fiercest rivals.
Unbeaten at Anfield since September the 12th. Graham Souness, who's often looked a solitary figure in a club where the supporters sing, "You'll never walk alone." You feel that things could go from bad to worse here for Liverpool. Ruddock getting involved after the free kick had been given.
Well, they're just not getting an ounce of time, are they? A second of time. Anytime any red shirt tries to put their foot on it, or take some time on the ball, then there's a black shirt around them and putting them under pressure. They look a yard quicker all over the pitch at the moment, Manchester United. I know that's easy to say when you're 2-0 up.
Well, they certainly didn't look a yard quicker before they scored, did they? Liverpool began the game, and it's no consolation at all now, but they began the game brightly. Robbie Fowler right in at goal inside the first minute, the ball ending up in the Kop.
Football's full of ifs though, isn't it, Martin? This is incredible. I think that's the first time I've ever seen a free kick given from outside the box, and United don't have a player in there.
Owen, it's free! And everything they hit ends up in the back of the net. And even by Manchester United standards, this is simply stunning.
This is incredible, Mark. They didn't have a player. Look, they don't have a player anywhere near the box. They must have so much confidence in Dennis Irwin's ability, and he didn't disappoint them. This is a beautifully struck free kick. Look at the bend in the ball, you can see it. Look at the accuracy of it. It's a magnificent free kick from Dennis Irwin.
Well, I think we imagined all sorts of scenarios here, but hardly this one. We're 23 minutes gone. It's Liverpool 0, Manchester United 3. Bruce Grobbelaar has had to pick out the ball from his net, put there by Steve Bruce, by Ryan Giggs and by Dennis Irwin. Dix, Redknapp, Clough. Oh! Well, they're replying kind. 3-1. The Kop come alive.
Well, this is a tie that's not normally noted for an abundance of goals. But what, 25 minutes gone, this the fourth. And again, it's a strike to admire. We really have been spoilt tonight. 4 magnificent goals we've seen already. And I honestly can't fault either goalkeeper for any of them. Oh, they couldn't, could they? They needed a lifeline quickly. And has Nigel Clough given them that?
Well, Manchester United goaded into pushing forward straight away from the restart. And here's Giggs. The gauntlet has been thrown down. This is quite phenomenal in the context of the championship, in the context of extreme rivalry between two clubs from the top draw year in, year out, and they're putting on a show at Anfield. Liverpool 1, Manchester United 3.
Let's spoil ourselves again though. Let's have another look at Dennis Irwin's free kick, because it really is one to admire. Look at this, Bruce Grobbelaar, not a lot wrong with his position, but I tell you what, there was even less wrong with Dennis Irwin's strike. And we can say this about Clough, what is he? Almost 35 yards out there. And even a goalkeeper of Schmeichel's quality can't get near it.
And for once, Manchester United having to play on the retreat there through Roy Keane. Barnes. Redknapp's got some space. Fowler to the left. There was a lot to do. And Ince kept his eye on the ball and wasn't distracted by the swaying body of the 18-year-old. But United don't get very far. Keane. Foul by Rush.
I think he turned round, Roy Keane. Suddenly saw it was Ian Rush and thought, well, you don't go around kicking people. You see, the tackle goes in, he bounces up looking for someone. Suddenly realises it's Ian Rush.
Giggs and Cantona. Kanchelskis. Oh, and there's a slip by Jones. Clough with a sort of commitment that Liverpool need in abundance. They look so uncertain in defence. Their strengths, for the most part this season, have been further forward, and now they're going to have to rely on any attacking advantages the likes of Barnes might be able to bring now.
I think that sums up the season so far. It's so brittle at the back. Something you'd never attach to a Liverpool side of old. But they have shown, I think, that they can score goals. And the potential is there to score goals.
Barnes battled to get it back. Well, it was not a cry of any great conviction from the Kop as McManaman went down.
They're not too happy though, the rest of the United back four. They're all pushed out, looking to catch McManaman offside, and Dennis Irwin has flipped him all the way back in.
Bruce played the ball. Philip Dom was, what, 15 yards away. The foul was hurt. Steve Bruce obviously was stretched as well, and after so many games, the fatigue factor isn't just from tonight, of course.
Well, I think we can see here that Bruce does everything, I think, right. Gets there, just toes the ball away. I think it's a jarring of that right leg of Robbie Fowler. He seemed to jar it as he landed on it. And I hope that's all it is, because Liverpool won't want to lose his threat.
Well, a heady opening half hour for the neutrals, for Manchester United for the most part, although some of their effervescence has just got a little bit flattened by Nigel Clough's goal. Barnes, who has looked sharp. That's an encouraging sign for Liverpool. Leclerc. Here's Dix. And the referee played the advantage. Clough and Dix still exchanging words. Foul is offside. Will there be any action from the referee here? It won't surprise me if there is, because Philip Don, I think, did what any good official would do then. He recognised who was the culprit, who was Clough, but he didn't need to invoke the punishment straight away because Manchester United still had the ball.
Yeah, well, he assessed the situation. It's an ugly looking tackle, isn't it? And I think Nigel Clough certainly not one noted for putting his foot in, shall we say.
Keane climbing right, read it well. Rob Jones letting the ball run, who actually made his Liverpool debut coming from Crewe in one of these matches at Old Trafford. A couple of years ago now, acquitted himself very well, and apart from illness and injury, has been very much to the fore with Liverpool since. Leclerc turning back into Fowler. Well, he does seem to have ice in his veins, Brian McClare. Very rarely see him provoked into any indiscretions. And what an advantage to Alex Ferguson to have a player of his versatility to come in this mini injury crisis for Manchester United. They haven't had too much trouble on that front. He was just slowed up for a moment by the referee's intervention. Alistair clears, but only to Jones. McManaman. Liverpool looking to make up lost ground. Ruddock. Off the head of Pallister. Redknapp. Well, everything you see hit towards goal. In a game like this, you expect to see ending up in the back of the net.
I think Roy Keane's been bookmarked for a tackle he made earlier on Nigel Clough. And that's Redknapp's volley, but obviously Philip Don again let play go on, but he decided that Keane's challenge, a late one, warranted a booking.
10 minutes to go to half-time. Forward from Bruce. Cantona. Well, if there's a bit of hot temper around, Roy Keane's usually not far from the scene. But he's young and he's enthusiastic, and it's an attitude that I'm sure will just learn to curb a little bit. Mustn't be too critical in a match like this. Redknapp. Barnes. Here's Wright. Dix. should pull to the left. Big hole in the middle for Liverpool at the moment, though. All the midfield players are standing off. But they've got it through to Fowler. McManaman's made a move into the middle now. Fowler against Bruce for Barnes. Can McManaman get to this one? He does.
Well, I think this cross is there to be attacked with a determination and a belief that you're going to score. I think you got it perfectly there. I don't think McMahon believed enough that he could score from that cross. But it was a wonderfully inviting cross from John Barnes.
Coming forward, Rush. Can Clough get to this one? He can! It's 3-2! Nigel Clough again!
Oh, this is absolutely incredible stuff. What a marvellous response from Liverpool. But it's an error that brings the opening. A bit of confusion there. It comes off Keane. There's a big, big gap there that Nigel Clough strides into. And he does finish it with real confidence. Doesn't seem a problem. The ball bounces off Roy Keane and Clough's onto it in a flash, and that's a great finish.
5 goals in 38 minutes here at Anfield. Well, Manchester United might be godlike in what they can create in terms of goal scoring, but they're only mortals if you can get the ball at them like any other defenders around. But Liverpool have shaken off the sadness at losing 3 goals in what a 14-minute spell. And now the Kop sense that perhaps one of the great recoveries is going to manifest itself. A long way to go yet, because Liverpool still haven't shown any great conviction in their defending that Manchester United won't score again. And here's Giggs, and they should have scored again. And still they might with Keane, and with Ince, no. Ince again, Parker. Liverpool continue to labour defensively. Off the head of Rob Jones, Cantona with the volley.
Well, labour's a word, Martin. Labour's a word. Who'd be a Liverpool manager at the moment? You see your team concede 3 goals, claw back into the game, and then look at this, looking for offside again, Rob Jones, when he should just be defending. And how on earth does Ryan Giggs get nothing on that? Completely misses the ball, and even then, they're struggling to clear their lines. They frantically get it away. This is wonderful stuff.
Here's Parker.
Wind that clock back, we don't want that much time gone already.
McClare, whistle's gone, free kick to United. It's a bit wider the angle of this free kick. Owen certainly assuming seniority at the moment.
It's an angle
over Giggs and Cantona. And Bruce Grobbelaar wondering whether he's got to go to his right. He can't go too soon. It's deflected off Redknapp. Well, we're 5 minutes away from half-time. It's been a first half to tell your grandchildren about. Quite extraordinary happenings here at Anfield. Ince bounces off Ruddock. Well, we wondered, I think, here whether there'd be flashpoints, perhaps to the detriment of the football. Of course there have been moments of passion. There have been moments of eccentricity in the tackle. Bookings for Clough and for Keane. But the football has dominated, and how. Parker. Grobbelaar decides that that might have been a corner. I think he had to go for it. And it's a throw to United. And any ball into the Liverpool penalty area is inducing panic. And here's Kanchelskis. Giggs. That was Rob Jones. Timely. Harsh words from Dix in the direction of England's shortlisted World Cup linesman, Roy Pearson. He's one of 25 on a list that are going to be reduced to 22, so he's got a good chance of going to the United States. McManaman.
This is wonderful stuff, Mark. It really is.
And still, and Schmeichel handles it with authority, clears it to where he hoped Giggs might set Manchester United going again.
Well, people talk about John Barnes not having the pace of old, but he's got the trickery of old for sure. And he completely left Paul Parker for dead there.
Well, the game that every Liverpool supporter wants to see his team win. 20 minutes ago, they had no chance. Thanks to Nigel Clough now, anything is possible.
Here we see it again. He's just at the edge of the picture, and he gambles there, and he takes a chance, and he gets lucky. The ball drops from him, and he smashes it into the corner.
Ince. Parker's got plenty of pace. He also had plenty of nerve. The back pass had just the right sort of weight on it for Schmeichel to clear without any undue difficulty. McClare, that comes off McManaman. Grobbelaar says he sees the play in the best position. Gives Ryan Giggs a taste of his own medicine. McClare. Clough, who's been trying to find his position really for Liverpool. And he's got to operate the way Graham Souness wants to set out his strategy as a central midfield man. But he's shown he can get goals coming onto the play. Barnes, Dix, who played a prominent role as it built up down the left-hand side. Liverpool don't want the first half to come to an end.
Neither do I.
And yet, at 3-0, they'd have wanted the night to come to a brief end and get it over with. Here's Rob Jones. Now McManaman. Clough. Right. Steering it precisely to the feet of McManaman. A trick to lose Keane for a moment, but the slip allowed Keane a second chance. Giggs. Cantona looking to stay onside. He's done that. Can he collect it? Not quite. But there are still possibilities for United here. Who started this goal glut in the first half. Can they have the final word? And it's a free kick to Liverpool as we move into stoppage time.
Well, they held him up well, both Barnes and Ruddock, and gave Cantona nowhere to go. But I think both back fours will be in for one or two heated words from their respective managers at half-time.
Yes, it's a shame that they're going to have their say and maybe tighten things up. No whistle from Philip Don. A purposeful run from Pallister. Giggs, one of the United scorers. And working hard to get his cross towards the head of Cantona. Claire was set for any knockdown that was coming back across the face of the goal. Well, I don't know what the two sets of supporters make of all this, because there have been ebbs and flows here of the most dramatic nature. And the whistle's gone. Fowler's put the ball in the net, but he was the fouler on Parker.
He was a little bit unlucky as well. Not so much as well, I think the legs get tangled. He wants it in the inside of Parker, and you see there, there's not an awful lot wrong, but in that situation, it would have been a very brave referee not to have blown for a free kick.
Here's McClair, popping up in all sorts of positions to try and hurt Liverpool. As Manchester United try and reassert their superiority, they're not allowed to go on here because the whistle's gone. And it's the end of a first half sent from heaven. 5 goals, 3 of them for Manchester United, all cleanly taken. Steve Bruce, Ryan Giggs and Dennis Irwin with the free kick. Liverpool looked dead and buried, but Nigel Clough hadn't given it up. And he struck twice to get Liverpool within range at half-time in Anfield. Liverpool 2, Manchester United 3.
Liverpool had pulled themselves back from the brink of humiliation, and suddenly it was United on the ropes at half-time. The statistics reflected just how close it was. Liverpool had had more of the possession, 8 shots each, but 5 goals in the first half was truly unbelievable. After Robbie Fowler's early miss, United had slipped into cruise control. Steve Bruce heading in the guided missile from Eric Cantona. But Liverpool had caused their own problems in defence. A pass too short from Jamie Redknapp, and Ryan Giggs was skating away from Mark Wright. The chip was truly mercurial. Dennis Irwin next on the hockey, next with the bullseye. The untouchable free kick, 3-0. But Nigel Clough's goal was the one that said Liverpool could get something from the game. 3-1 from 25 yards. They've seen the best of Clough at Anfield, they've just not seen it often enough. Suddenly, Manchester United were in a defensive tangle.
I think if we'd have gone in at half-time, 3-0 down, I think we'd have struggled second half. But we got a couple of goals back and we battled through.
I'd missed a similar chance early on in the game when I got put through, so I was glad to see it at the back of the net.
Was that always in your mind to chip it? Did you have a look up to see where Bruce Grobbelaar was?
Not really. I had a good idea that Bruce would be off his line, and the defenders were closing in fast. That was the only thing I could really do.
It couldn't have gone in more perfectly though, could it?
No, I mean, it looked good on telly, but the main thing was to get it over the wall and get it on target.
You're getting a bit of a reputation for these sort of spectacular goals now, aren't you?
Well, I haven't hit one for a couple of months actually, so I think Giggsy's been hitting the last few, but I just felt confident on the night.
At 3-0 you're thinking that's it, but obviously it wasn't 3-0 for very long. I think within a minute Nigel had scored his first goal, and I knew when we scored that one we were going to get something from the game. There's not a lot you can do until you get them in at half-time and then maybe try and change one or two things, and even sometimes that doesn't work. It's down to the players ultimately. They're the ones out on the pitch, they're the ones that have to change the course of the game.
The course of the game was still due yet another twist. United had the lead, but Liverpool had the momentum. After 24 minutes, the Kop had been stunned into silence. Now they sensed real drama. Down in the tunnel, Alex Ferguson had finished his team talk to the champions. It was up to the players to pick up where they'd left off.
Liverpool not giving up, almost a little microcosm perhaps of the season itself. As to whether there can be a comeback from a chasing club in terms of league status to threaten the runaway leaders, we must wait and see. It will certainly help the chasing pack if Liverpool can continue on the same road that Nigel Clough has put them on with his 2 goals. Here's Wright. All the things that might have been said at half-time, one would have thought that Graham Souness might have had a word or two for his back 4. For an improvement there. Here's Dix. Bruce, one of the United rearguard coming in. Ian Rush Well, we've hardly had time to mention, of course, the player who went 23 matches for Liverpool against Manchester United without scoring, but has now got goals in each of the last 3 before today.
A timely reminder for Manchester United if we could get one now, wouldn't it? That he's still around and firing. But if they are going to get something, Martin, they'll have to do something that no other team has managed this season in the league, and that's score 3 times against Manchester United in the league match.
Yes, of course, Galatasaray did it in Europe and stunned just about the whole country in doing so. But this, I would venture to say, would be even more stunning in these circumstances. But United still have the 1-goal lead, and McClair trying to launch an attack here with the help of Cantona. Back comes McManaman. Clough. Redknapp. Barnes in a narrow position this time. The width on the left coming from Dix, but not too far forward, so Barnes looks in the other direction. So the player known here as Trigger, Robbie Jones. Clough. Barnes had some good moments, and the referee indicating that he felt Barnes ducked into that high foot. Let's get a quick word from Nick Collins. Nick.
Martin, I asked Graham Souness whether he believed Liverpool could complete the fight back. He touched the "This is Anfield" sign above the tunnel and said, "We most certainly can." But I tell you what, the best line I heard at half-time was in the press room. Somebody walked in and said, "This game badly needs a goal to liven it up."
Redknapp. Here's Clough. Fowler and Rush ahead of him. Rush timing his run, or trying to do that, but the master of that particular move couldn't quite come up with the proper execution that time.
But he'll keep trying. This is a Ian Rush trademark. He's unlucky because Steve Bruce falling helped him slightly. Just made the run a little bit too early.
It hasn't been an evening ruined by the offside flag. Here's Kanchelskis. That's a fine ball, not easy for Mark Wright to deal with, but on the half volley he knocked it out of harm's way. Always been blessed with excellent technique for Liverpool number 5. But there are times where you wonder whether he's really fulfilled all the promise that his ability suggests. In the category of ex-England players at the moment. Fowler. Current England man struggling in the side-ins, but the free kick given against him. Dix. Nicely done for Redknapp. Barnes. Prepared to take on Paul Parker. John Barnes really looking as though he's in the mood tonight. And a kind of exhilaration that must come from participating in a match like this, certainly suiting the Barnes style.
Well, if he can get the ball to John Barnes in the last term, there's always going to be an opportunity for Liverpool in this game. The further forward he can get the ball to Barnes, the more danger he can create.
Did Ruddock mean that?
Are you sure?
It went straight to Rob Jones. McManaman's run it out. Certainly with McManaman on the right, Barnes on the left. If the supply is there to wide positions, the United rearguard can be stretched. And there's the running of Fowler. All the know-how of Rush. Just to worry when they lose the ball for Liverpool. Because you do feel United could still take them to the cleaners again. And that's just adding to the appeal of a quite extraordinary match here at Anfield. Liverpool 2, Manchester United 3. Clough. Got it back again by the back of referee Philip Don. Dix. Here's Keane on a run. Kanchelskis wanting to go ahead of him and give him an angle. There it is. Cantona and Giggs in the centre, and no one closing Kanchelskis down. Will they pay the price for that? Cantona! Corner.
Well, that's going to be the danger all of this second half. As Liverpool throw men forward, they're always going to be looking to spring forward into attack Manchester United. And they come very, very close here to making it 4-2.
Giggs with the corner. Staying upfield, Bruce is checked back to the halfway line and now turns. Corner played short. Kanchelskis making space for a shot of his own. And again you feel Graham Souness will be tearing his hair out. It's all very well to pay tribute to the attacking qualities, and we must do that. But Liverpool sides of bygone vintage surely would never have let Kanchelskis wriggle into that position. Andy, sorry.
No, the power was there, the accuracy wasn't.
That's the problem, of course, for the current crop of players. The comparisons at Anfield are so difficult. But look at Fowler. Rush in the middle, it's come behind him. Chance might still be on for McManaman. Don't get that sort of time when Paul Ince is about.
That was poor play from Robbie Fowler. Wonderful situation opened up for Liverpool.
Key. I think we're happy to report that for whatever the managers have said, there isn't a great deal of sign that the defences are getting on top here. Cantona. Leclerc was quite entitled really to have a swing at that. He's just rolled away from the Frenchman for a moment. Jones. Room for Redknapp here. McManaman. Redknapp's gone on ahead of the ball. Clough in a holding position in midfield. Dix there to help him out. Barnes, as you'd expect, loitering on the left. Link up with Rush. Now Clough. Just imagine the noise here if Liverpool were to equalise. Bit of pushing by Fowler.
Just a nudge, but it was enough. The opportunity was there because they'd drawn Steve Bruce out the middle, which doesn't happen very often. They'd drawn him out towards Julian Dix.
Free header for Wright. Dix immediately going to put some pressure on Grobbelaar, as if maybe the goalkeeper might give him a chance with something eccentric with the ball at his feet. Jones. Fowler darts it on well. Rush is stopped by the whistle for a foul on Fowler.
Well, that's a poor decision, Martin. It really is. He has allowed play to go on so many times today, and this was an ideal case for play to be allowed to go on. The touch is there, rushes through, ahead of the play. I think the referee, when he sees that, will know he made a mistake.
Yes, it's one of those, if it had happened early in the match, you could perhaps think the referee wanted to clamp down on any physical contact, but it hasn't developed into a difficult game to control. Clough. Cantona. Keane is unattended through the middle. And look at Giggs on the left. And the flag is up. And if Manchester United had got that right, the gulf would more than likely have widened again.
Well, we're all over the place. They've committed so many men forward. You look at Julian Dix. I don't think Giggs is offside. Dix steps out from playing Ryan Giggs onside, and the linesman gives him the benefit.
Oh, there's a weak one from Jones. At times there's a suicidal streak to Liverpool, but they're still in the game. And who would have thought that after Manchester United's opening salvo? 3 goals, all in their own way, expertly taken. Redknapp and a duel of strength with McClair, and again, and Liverpool come out on top. Clough.
It's all been played in front of the United rearguard, though. At time they're going to need a bit of penetration.
McManaman trying to supply it against Irwin, trying to get it to the feet of Fowler in a very congested penalty area, and there's a bit of breathing space for United here. Robbie Fowler trying so hard to make an impression. He has got an excellent temperament, and you don't feel that the concern about a couple of missed chances will interfere with his application over the rest of the game. And of course he didn't have a good game, they have been telling me, here at Ipswich, but he still cropped up to hit the bar in the closing stages, and as the ball dropped, Ian Rush won the points at Portman Road. Flags up. Clough. Can pick a pass again. It's one of his strong suits, really. Maybe just miscalculated the willingness of Rob Jones to roar on down that right-hand side.
Well, I said at the beginning of the match it would be important that with Nigel Clough playing in that central midfield area that we did get possession in the ball, and I think the figures show that at half-time that they had the majority of the possession, certainly the greater share of it, and Clough has continued in the second half to get himself involved and on the ball.
Ruddock. As Barnes moved infield, Dix went to the left, but Kanchelskis covered him. It was very noticeable. And so Liverpool have to try again on the opposite side. Been plenty of possession for McManaman in this phase of the match. Jones. Fowler taking over. And, 2 youngsters not on the same wavelength there. Jamie Redknapp. Put out by Dix. You do feel that with their record to support the Manchester United and the ability they clearly have to carve out chances here, that they would have an appetite for the second half. They wouldn't, despite losing 2 of the 3-goal advantage they had. But Alex Ferguson would surely feel that his team has the capacity to score again in the second half.
The natural game's to go forward. I don't think Alex Ferguson's team knows what it's like to take a backward step.
And just think of the recent game at Oldham. Of course, Oldham got it back to 2-2. And United finished on the right end of a 5-2 scoreline. Here's McClair, and Grobbelaar came, and in any case, the flag was up.
Well, I think that was an awful decision. Certainly, my first viewing of it said McClair timed his run perfectly. There's the ball, and that is a perfectly timed run from McClair. And it is an awful decision from the linesman, but thankfully, it wasn't a goal, it was disallowed.
That was another piece of perceptive McClair play to just bend his run round the outside then. Been a little bit of a switch here by Liverpool, seeing John Barnes for the moment go up front with Ian Rush and Robbie Fowler, who we saw in that England under-18 tournament success, coming from midfield to good effect, doing that now, and it's called a foul on the edge of the area. Fowler started very deep to push on into this position.
Well, it all started in the halfway line. I think the referee says that he just gets a click in the heels there. There's nothing Paul Ince does or tries to do is very similar to Fowler and Parker in the first half when a free kick was given against the Liverpool player. A free kick is given against Paul Ince when he could do very little about it.
Ince booked. But let's concentrate on the free kick here. Kenneth Irwin has shown the way to goal at this end of the ground in the first half, and Liverpool learn from that and produce an extraordinary equaliser. Redknapp. Really. Bruce, who doesn't flinch very often, and staggered under the force of the shot. And here's Giggs. And Grobbelaar, just when it seemed to be going past him. Cantona torn between applauding the shot and giving Giggs something of an earful for not releasing the ball.
Well, that's exactly what he was doing. You're a great run from Giggs, but look at Cantona. He's got two choices. He can shoot himself, he can roll it to Cantona. He opts for the shot, and that's a wonderful save from Bruce Grobbelaar. Keeps his side in the game.
Just for a second, you thought that was past Grobbelaar. Kanchelskis has got a teammate in the way, Cantona, but he's still going. Giggs, teasing past McManaman. Stretched effectively there by Ruddock, headed back by Pallister. And a bit of argy-bargy involving Clough and Bruce, but I think it was more a bit of shirt-grabbing than anything more sinister. Clough with a booking to his name already, as has Paul Ince, who's really rationed getting into trouble these days. Possibly the caution came more for something he said after the free kick was given. The actual incident itself, only Philip Don can enlighten us on that. Cantona. Away by Ruddock. Liverpool has shown great fighting spirits, but if Manchester United score another, you'd fear for them. Cantona. And Redknapp read it, and I think virtually made the referee's mind up for him by walking for the corner when Philip Don was possibly toying with the idea of giving a goal kick simply because it was a benefit of the doubt for the defensive side. Cantona with the corner this time. Too high for Roy Keane. Leclerc. Right, struggling. The shot from Pallister. Everyone wants to get in on the act. Game underway straight away from a goal kick.
No breathers anywhere, is there?
Right. Now Clough. Room for Redknapp to turn. Problems for United here. Redknapp! And Schmeichel somehow stretched to keep it out.
Well, we were admiring a save from Bruce Grobbelaar a couple of minutes ago. Peter Schmeichel showed us he's not about to be outdone.
Barnes. Clough wants it played to feet. It came a little bit late, but Clough's still able to guide it in to where he hoped to locate Rush.
Well, the key here is Paul Ince, because he slips at a crucial moment. Redknapp comes inside, he loses his foot, and then it opens up. And that's a wonderful save. I think what helped Peter Schmeichel was the height it arrived at. Along the ground or a yard higher, he would have had more difficulty in dealing with it.
20 minutes into the second half. The goalkeepers, who were anonymous because of the quality of the goals for much of the first half, are having their say now. Grobbelaar from Giggs, Schmeichel from Redknapp. Julian Dix, who of course packs a punch in the left foot, and Schmeichel. I'm not sure that it was going in, but Schmeichel was taking no chances, and first to join in the applause, the other member of the goalkeepers' union on the pitch.
He's only jealous it wasn't him. I mean, he hits this very well. It's probably going wide, but it's one for the cameras, as they say. but didn't he hold on to it very well?
Redknapp. Here's McManaman. Redknapp. Tough again, the holding player. And they can use him to make sure possession is sensible and progressive. Until it came to the cross.
What a waste. What a waste. They worked the opening well. They worked Jones some time to put the cross in. And he really disappointed with it.
Well used to fill the ground here if Liverpool and Manchester United were down at the bottom of the table. 42,795 lucky souls in the stadium.
Go on, Pat! Go on, Pat! Go on, Pat! Linesman! Linesman!
Cantona. Forward from Bruce. Look at that, that's art. From Cantona to Kanchelskis. Giggs is there, McClare coming in too, and really a case of too many cooks.
You just get the impression that any time Manchester United have the confidence and the ability to go up the field and score, it must be frightening. I mean, look at that. The link-up play is excellent. And then McClare, you see him breaking from the left of the screen. Look at the amount of ground he's making up, but credit Steve McManaman. He tracked him all the way.
Clough. Advantage played by the referee this time. Barnes. Still Barnes. Well, Manchester United may be setting the standards at the moment, but we should point out that Liverpool have done that for years and years and years. John Barnes, part of the championship winning teams in 88 and 90. And between those championships for Manchester United in 1967 and 1993, Liverpool won it 11 times. And they would like us, the supporters in these parts, to not forget that. Roy Keane, as you saw, a bit of trouble injury-wise. Jones. Liverpool still chasing. An improbable recovery. Rob Jones right on the very edge. Paul Ince has a say again.
It's a wonderful driving run from Rob Jones. Paul Ince is having a work, but as soon as he set off with the heart of the defence, they had a problem. Again, there's not an awful lot Paul Ince can do, to be fair, but I don't think the referee had much option but to award a free kick. And from this angle, it's certainly more to the liking of John Barnes. Favours a left footer. They've also got Neil Ruddock, of course, if they're up for power, but certainly Barnes if they're looking for craft.
They've also got Julian Dix if they opt for power.
Yeah.
Ruddock's placing it.
It's at times like this, Mark, where as the attacking side, you have to be patient and make sure the referee gets them back 10 yards. I thought the last free kick, they were about 7 at the most. You see, they're still only 8 yards off the ball. Philip Dawn's having a tough time getting them back.
20 minutes to go. Is the stage set here? Liverpool, who were 3 goals down after 23 minutes, trying to hunt down an equaliser against their bitterest of rivals. And Nigel Clough lurking as well, who of course is on a hat-trick. And it is Clough. They've tried to come up with something different. That was Dix on the volley. Helping head for United from Giggs.
Wasn't a great
into the stand from Irwin.
Wasn't a great free kick, man. Sorry, as soon as you shift the ball in that situation, then the wall's going to break, or the Chargers are going to attack it. Felt sure they would have had a direct strike at goal.
But Nigel Clough, who's had his difficulties after an excellent start to his first season here, really catching the eye for Liverpool in a very big game indeed. Another Liverpool free kick. Clough on the ball quickly. Dix. Barnes with the back header. Parker. But they have such a sharp cutting edge on the counter-attack, Manchester United. They can't get the ball at the moment. Redknapp, good touch for Barnes, and the return ball, well, even with Schmeichel slipping, he was still able to win the race.
Lovely movement. Jimmy Redknapp's done that a few times tonight. He said he's the one who's looking to get forward, and he's tried and tried, and this is a lovely piece of play. Instant stop for Barnes, and he's away into the hole, and only too much pace on the ball. The only thing wrong with the move.
You just wonder how Graham Souness's stock would be here if he'd had John Barnes for a greater percentages of his matches as manager. 45% in terms of league games in 2.5 years.
I suppose for Liverpool, if you compare a Manchester United player, would you be comparing an Eric Cantona? If United lost someone like Cantona for that length of time, how it would affect them?
Well, many point to him as the catalyst for Manchester United. I state again, this is 50th game for the club. He's only lost 2 of the previous 49. Jones. Oh, Schmeichel started to come impetuously. He's on his way back now. Owen getting the better of McManaman. And the whistle's gone for an unfair intervention by Ian Rush.
Well, we
No
said it
hard
would
feelings.
be... Sorry, Mark, we said it would be different in the second half. We certainly had no right to expect 5 goals. But it's been just as fascinating, wondering which way it was going to fall. Both teams looking to push forward. Not a negative thought in any other minds at all.
Right. Clough again using the ball superbly. Barnes just a little over-ambitious that time, trying to find the run of Redknapp. But the balance in midfield between Clough and Redknapp has been an encouraging feature for Graham Souness. Ince. Well, at one stage it looked like humiliation. Oh, Grobbelaar worried about Cantona. If it is to be defeat for Liverpool, it will come perhaps into the glorious category unless they fall away in the time that remains, and with Manchester United they can go really flashbang wallop. But here come Liverpool. Behind Fowler from Redknapp. I'm sure he wanted that. Dix can drive on here, rushes in the middle. Oh! Was in front of Schmeichel and would have got to it first if it had been played into the right area.
I think a bit of composure here from Julian Dix, and Ian rushes in. Look at Rush there. He just wants it rolled in front of him. You can see it. Just roll it in front, he's saying to Julian, and look at his disappointment when he fired it across the goal.
"15 minutes to go. Norwegian, Stig Inge Bjørneby. Here's Giggs. Ince getting it back for United. Cantona. Roy Keane in so much space. And Grobbelaar has made sure that Liverpool are not beaten yet.
Well, he does everything right, Roy Keane. Cantona picks him out beautifully, and now you look for him to be going across the goalkeeper. He does just that. It's a great save from Bruce. Unfortunately for Liverpool, no black shirts coming in on the end of it.
Giggs to take the corner. As Radical got his head to it, Cantona played wide by Keane. Bruce calling for a deep cross here from Giggs. It's Rob Jones who wrapped his right leg around it. Liverpool just get it away. And Rush tries to apply some pressure on Parker here. Irwin, who's done well against Steve McManaman. More terrific technique to admire. In a match that you could have forgiven if it had been full of hurly-burly and the passion overriding every other factor. Diggs, McClare setting off. Ball didn't come. Now it's Barnes. Liverpool sticking with the formation of Barnes up front with Rush and Fowler on the left of midfield.
I think that makes sense, Mark, because obviously John Barnes is not 100% match fit, and what they're saying is if he's going to do any damage, then we'll try and get him further forward than maybe it would be if he was on this left side. And that's all it might take, and it might take till the 89th minute. And the ball just might drop around that 18-yard line, and John Barnes might just produce a piece of magic that Liverpool are looking for.
That's what they're hoping for. Ruddock. Knocked away by Parker. Ruddock again. Maybe the strain of the holiday period will catch up with one or two individuals here. Bruce, who's been in the wars in previous games. Liverpool are going to make their change now. Björneby, who's very left-footed, comes on for McManaman, who's pulled off from the right-hand side. Now, at the moment, there's no replacement. Björneby staying on the left. And straight away, his first touch almost takes him in behind Bruce. It's a goal kick.
I think he was just trying to indicate to Robbie Fowler that perhaps he's the one, and it is Robbie Fowler who's been sent over to the right-hand side. But I think that makes sense, the substitution, because I think Steve McManaman's been probably the least effective of the attacking players today. He really hasn't had much change out of Dennis Irwin at all.
Irwin has also taken time out to be one of the United scorers. Bruce, Giggs and Irwin in the first 23 minutes. A rat-a-tat-tat of a reply from Nigel Clough with 2 goals of his own. And Irwin says, welcome to my side of the pitch, to Robbie Fowler.
Well, they've sent Ruddock forward and he's pulled himself onto Paul Parker. They've just changed it now.
Clough with the free kick. Barnes. Fowler. It's a nice touch from Ruddock. Sweeping it to Björneby. It needs a good cross for from here. They've got it! Neil Ruddock. And this masterpiece of a match has produced another fantastic goal.
This is absolutely sensational, and what a huge part Ruddock plays it, because he's the one that fed Björneby, and then he didn't hang around, and look at the way he attacks that. He goes in there saying, this is mine, and no one is stopping me getting that. That is what you call attacking the ball.
And that is what you call refusing to lie down here. Liverpool, who have had to live with so much criticism, must have feared another blast when so early in the evening they were 3 goals adrift. But here we are, study the scoreline. Liverpool 3, Manchester United 3.
Don't assume that's the end of the scoring. The one thing I feel sure there will be chances in the last 10 minutes.
Manchester United are approaching their worst run of their league season, 2 games without a win.
And Liverpool have achieved what no one else has so far. 3 league goals in the 1 game against Manchester United. Maybe they are human after all.
is in the FA Carling Premiership. You can talk about Manchester United turning the season into a procession, you can think again. And elsewhere, there's so much quality in the challenge. With Blackburn improving all the time, Newcastle coming up with such glory. And look at Liverpool here, written off by so many. In the season, in the match. They're still fighting. Could they get in front for the first time at the crucial time? Or will we see the true quality of the champions here? Pallister has a little ball on to Cantona. Liverpool have cut off the route. Bruce. McClair. This is quite magnificent. And this is Cantona!
I told you there would be chances, and that's one. Great ball from McClair, looks up, picks him out perfectly. Very powerful header. Whether Bruce had it covered, we'll give him the advantage and say he did. But it was very, very close to putting United back in the lead.
But 6 goals, that would be a thrill alone. But what goals, Andy?
Watch this run at Bolo. The ball comes in, looking away, that's mine, and he gives Schmeichel no chance. 6 goals, Martin. I tell you what, you couldn't blame the goalkeeper for any of them, could you? None of them have had a sniff.
And but for the goalkeepers, we'd be approaching that 6-6 scoreline that was talked about earlier in the evening. Robillard has been great in the second half. Schmeichel has had his saves to make as well. It's a colossus of a match, and it's not over yet.
Oh, it's survival of the fittest now, Martin. There are tired legs out there after the holiday programme.
Fowler asking Bruce to have to defend that as Barnes came in unfairly. The referee saying just get the ball down at the right place. And well, it's not been one really to enjoy on the bench. Graham Souness and Alec Ferguson. There's been really a bit of history of bad blood even at that level. Alec Ferguson's had some harsh words to say about the visiting teams and their treatment when they come to Anfield. But I think when the dust settles here, and it'll take a long time to settle, it's been a victory for football. There's no question about that. Even if perhaps we're not going to get an outright victory for either of the two teams, and you wouldn't be betting on the draw even now, would you? 9 shots.
6 minutes left, Mark. Leave us in.
Clough. Pallister. Here's Cantona. Now Keane. They've been in a sequence, Manchester United, of draw, win, draw, win, draw, win. 5 draws in their previous 9 games. They were due to win tonight to keep the sequence going. They seem certain to win tonight. 3-0 up.
After 20 minutes, who would have bet against them?
Keane. Cantona. Free kick to Liverpool. They want to take it quickly to keep the tempo going. Clough.
Well, we can excuse 1 or 2 straight passes this late, can't we? The players, I said at the beginning of the game, all the ingredients were here, Martin. It was up to the players. And I'll tell you what, they haven't disappointed, have they?
Cantona. Jones just resuming that duel from the previous games with Ryan Giggs.
I think a little example there of why Ryan Giggs was probably thrust up front, because Jones has always had the pace. They felt at Liverpool to cope with Ryan Giggs.
to go back to the training ground for his technique on the throws, though.
There we go. Now you take it behind your shoulders and release. Let's go. Well, almost. But we talked about the last goal, looking at Ruddock's equaliser. We talked about managers making substitutions. And who was it that was there to cross the ball for Ruddock? But a substitute had come on moments earlier. Stig Bjorneby.
Fowler. Ruddock. Oh, and the rush is offside.
I just wonder if we'll just settle now with 3 minutes left for a point each.
Well, few, I think, would begrudge a final score of that nature. But a blow in the face for McClure.
I think Jimmy Redknapp is looking to just hook his foot round the ball and does catch Brian McClure.
But how much of a blow for Manchester United if we dare suggest that it might finish with them not getting the 3 points?
I refuse to contemplate it with 2.5 minutes left.
And you're quite entitled to give me that answer. You're certainly not copping out. Led Seeley, who's on the bench there, the substitute goalkeeper, always with plenty to say for himself. And so much to talk about here. Well, I think they must be mad to go before the end. Bjorneby. Clough making that his. It wasn't really. Redknapp likewise. Here's Dix. What a game to come back into the side for. Bjorneby, who was an influence at Ipswich, played well as a substitute for a long stint at Portman Road. Corner to Liverpool.
That was a great ball again from Bjorneby. It was early, it was in a dangerous area, and it gave Gary Pallister problems. I'll tell you what, if they score now, they won't need to take the roof off the Kop. The fans will lift it off with the noise, I'll tell you.
Fowler. Looking for Ruddock. And Nigel Clough was livid because he was holding and then waiting for a ball to be rolled to him on the edge of the area, and Fowler didn't spot him. When they look back on matches between Liverpool and Manchester United, this one will be called to mind for many, many years to come. And the Liverpool scarves and flags can be held proudly now. Or can they? McClure.
I'm just thinking, Mark, you and I had the privilege to be at Goodison and Everton and Liverpool involved in that sensational 4-4. And we have to say, this must rank up there along with that.
And that was a night when Liverpool were never behind but couldn't walk off the pitch as winners. Manchester United have come up against the sort of tenacity that Everton showed that night. Well, compared to perhaps previous generations, they might be questioning the quality at the moment at Liverpool Football Club. But you cannot question the character that's been shown here. And it's been a fight back full of fabulous football. And 3 terrific goals for Graham Souness to savour. And the hunt is on for number 4 still. Jones in stoppage time. How often have we seen things snatched right at the last in games this season? Barnes. Someone's got to gamble here. It's Dix making the run, and Bruce was not going to fail Manchester United. And here's Giggs, he's away. Hurdling Ruddock. They've got two men over. McClare is one of them. Cantona is the other. The ball came behind him, and in that moment the chance was lost. Cantona is very, very angry, but the game finishing on the same sort of high note that we've had throughout.
What a chance that was.
Barnes, they're trading blows again. Here comes Björneby. Can Liverpool carry a knockout punch? Fildon looks at the watch again. Clough. Right. Ruddock. Stick it forward would be the message, you think. There it goes. Towards Fowler, but on an evening that defenders would probably prefer to forget, Dennis Irwin has done as well as anybody. Well, they'll talk about this night for a long, long time. Graham Souness, who might well have been writing off his side after 23 minutes. They were 3 down. In the end, Neil Ruddock with a really lion-hearted header pulled it back to 3-3 after Nigel Clough had scored twice before half-time to completely change the scenario. The script was just as Manchester United would have wanted. Steve Bruce put them in front. Ryan Giggs added a second with a delightful chip. Dennis Irwin with a textbook free kick, simply unstoppable. The champions were playing champagne football. The championship seemed to be within touching distance, and then Liverpool roused themselves, raised their game, and gave us all a night to treasure.
Well, I think he had so many outstanding players on the pitch, playing to peak form. I think on both sides, the better players played as well as they possibly could do on the night. There were some great goals. As I said, maybe some people guilty, I'm sure Alec Ferguson would agree, but some people guilty of not doing the job properly in defence when it came to that. But it made for wonderful entertainment. It was a great game of football.
We're not interested in odds against Manchester United or odds for them and all the rest of it. We're interested in performance on the field. And last night we scored 3 fantastic goals. It was one of the best games I've ever been involved in. Liverpool played magnificently, we played magnificently. No one coming off that pitch gave less than 100%. And I think when you look at your team in that light, you say, well, I'm a lucky manager, I've got some tremendous players at our club.
You'd be a lucky player to play in a better game than that. I mean, it's the best game I've played in, and I should think a few of the older players, they've never played in a better game than that. It felt like victory to us because the way we come back and the way we did play, I think we outplayed the champions, and our belief is that if we play well on the day, we can beat anybody.
Looking back on it, I mean, obviously we were a little bit disappointed after being 3-0, but it was a classic game to play in. I mean, they're always enjoyable. And I suppose as a spectacle, people are talking about the best game they've ever seen, and I suppose that ultimately came a compliment to both teams because it was a great game to play in.